for the rest of the show, I'm going under the table. I'm going to do the show from under the table because
you should.
I can't take you anymore. I can't take your abuse of my team anymore. So it's your show. It's your moment. You do it.
Remember yesterday, Skip? Oh, do you need to call in? You need to take Friday off? You're welcome to take Friday off. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have the guts. I'm going to have the courage to face your music for 2.5 hours. I'm going to have the courage of my convictions to back my team. You front run on all your teams. You jump off every bandwagon and onto another one. I'm staying on the Cowboys bandwagon. Here.
I said, Skip, be careful. Oh, my team, we're back in it.
Can we please start the show?
Yeah, we'll get to that, Skip. That was a tough one for you last night. But we have a lot to get to today, starting with the Cowboys letting their Thanksgiving game get away from them yesterday when Washington took a 17-10 lead and never looked back. Washington went on a 26-6 run and walked away with a decisive 41-16 victory to take the lead in the NFC East. So, Shannon, what was the biggest reason for the Cowboys' loss?
The Cowboys are a bad football team. They're bad from top to bottom. Skip, when you look at this team, I want someone to tell me, what do the Cowboys do really well? Do they run the ball particularly well? No, they do not. Take Minnesota aside, they're average to below average running the team. Do they throw the ball particularly well? They can't throw it well because they really can't protect the quarterback. So the answer to that is no. Okay, Skip, let me ask you this. Do they stop the opposing team from running the football? No, they do not. Even though they won the game against Minnesota, Dalvin Cook still went for $115. We've seen teams go for over 300 yards total. Over 200. Two teams have gone for over 200 yards total. Do they stop the pass? Their secondary is average. And I'm being nice, Skip. I'm going to be nice today. Thanksgiving just happened, so I'm going to be nice.
Bologna.
Okay, so
to make probably ate some bologna yesterday.
So make a long story short, their team doesn't do anything well. And so when you compound that, a coach that makes very, very bad decisions, it makes it look worse. And that's why the Cowboys are where they are. And I'm sure we're going to get down into it, Skip, but basically is this. Their coaching is terrible. And I told you, Mike McCarthy, you said, we got us a made man. I say, Skip, you have to understand. Now, look what he had at the quarterback position. He had 2 Hall of Famers, first ballot, guys that have won 5 total MVPs, that have gone to and won Super Bowls. Look at what he's doing now when he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, when he doesn't have Brett Favre. Skip, that was ridiculous. First of all, it's a 10-10 ball game. 10-10. Skip, your defense was playing well up until that point.
Okay, you just said it was trash.
No, Skip. Okay. Playing well is one thing. Being good is something entirely different. If you are a good football team, you're not 3 and whatever. That's not good. What area can you say they're good in? Okay, that one.
Okay, well, can I answer? I'm trying to give you the floor.
Go ahead. What do you say they're good in?
They lost their quarterback against the New York Football Giants. We have to go back, 5 games ago? Yeah. They lost their quarterback.
But they were losing when they had him.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so, Skip, and when I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's fourth and couple of inches and you're playing with. I was like, okay, it's 10-10 ball game. The area of the field. But I keep telling you all along, you say you like that. It's showing that he has confidence in his team. I say, Skip, you got to look at the situations. I said, you got to be careful. You can't say every time I'm trying to give them a spark, because if you don't get it, you're basically handing them 3 points. If they don't do anything, they got 3 points. Now, guess what you do? Dalton Schultz gets a personal foul penalty, so it goes from the 34 to the 19.
Can you explain the personal foul? I don't know what happened. I know he lost his mind, and he jumps on
top of the guy.
I don't know what he was doing. Did he get mad at him? Was it a cheap shot? I don't know, but it cost us 15 more yards. 15
yards, and so now what was you going to give up 3 probably? Now you end up giving up 7. And then to top it off, I mean, you know, at the end of the night, it's Thanksgiving. At the end of the night, you're going to have some dessert. You're going to have pecan pie, sweet potato pie. You're going to have some kind of dessert, Skip, cobbler. Mm-hmm. Guess what Mike McCarthy do? He said, you know what? I went 4-4 down in my own territory. I'm going to sign off on Bones, especially that play right here. I'm going to sign off on that. Fake punt at my own 24. Skip, did you see how far the guy had to bubble? We just talked about that. I'm like, bro, Mike, why would you do that in that situation. Skip, it's 12 minutes. It's 12 minutes in the ball game. You good. And he panicked. And it just snowballed from there. And that was game, set, match, ball, game's over. Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones needs to seriously think. Now, he told Jerry a lie to begin with to get the job. That's what happened. Because he told him, I watched every single play. I watched every single play. And then come to find out, well, I really didn't watch every single play. I just wanted the job.
Yep.
And Skip, maybe he's in over his head. Because what I'm seeing from Mike McCarthy is that when he doesn't have Brett Favre, he doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't even look like the same head coach. And those bonehead plays compounded by the fact that your team is average to below average. And all this, stop with all these Pro Football Focus and referencing this and that. The Cowboys are the most talented this, the most talented that. That's not talent. That's not talent. Defensively, they're not talented. They're not. They're really not. So, Skip, I don't really like, yes, I do. I'm gonna let you talk about Zeke, because I know you go about to jump on Zeke with both feet and just rub his face all in the dirt. I know you're about to do that. So I'm gonna let you have Zeke, but you got exactly what you deserve.
Okay, it is my turn to correct everything you just said.
Okay.
I am here to tell you, my team was in position. It was poised to win that game yesterday. It came out of the chute like gangbusters. And in the first Cowboy drive, and it was a drive, it felt like it was going to be a touchdown drive after my defense had completely shut down and out the Washington football team on its first possession with a quick 3-and-out, including a sack of one Alex Smith. Created by DeMarcus Lawrence, finished off by Randy Gregory. Here comes my offense. Boom, 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 down the field. And on one play, I lose my left tackle, Cam Irving. And 4 plays later, I lose my new right tackle, Zach Martin, who happens to be, in my view, the best offensive lineman in all of football. He is at least the best right guard in all of football. And he had been moved for the Minnesota game a week ago to right tackle, and everything had suddenly gelled and clicked and fired in the offensive line because Connor McGovern, a second-round pick of a year ago, was able to slide into right guard where he belongs, and all of a sudden, we actually had a football team. All of a sudden, at Minneapolis, against a Minnesota team that had won 3 straight games, we played the best game, certainly best road game, of any team in the NFC least this year. And I give you the least, but there was no more impressive win out of the NFC East this year than Dallas at Minnesota. I dare you to go find one and say, voila, because you won't be able to find one. They did at least hold Dalvin Cook to his average of 115. He did not run for 300 yards like a lot of people thought he would. Andy Dalton was superb in that game. CeeDee Lamb was superb in that game. And somehow, some way, they pulled out a 31-28 victory. And then, on a short week, tragedy struck in Dallas, Texas. And they lost a 54-year-old strength and conditioning coach named Marcus Paul, who, by all accounts, was the light of the weight room, the light of the locker room, the light of every pregame, pre-practice stretching session. He was a rock for that franchise. He's been with other franchises. He's been with New England and the Giants. He has participated in 5 Super Bowl victories, and by all accounts...
The Giants even released a statement.
They did.
Spoke glowingly of it.
A fine man and a fine football coach. Lost at 54, obviously way too early. It shook up this football team. McCarthy said after the game last night that they had a very emotional Wednesday night meeting at the hotel. They obviously dedicated the game to Marcus Paul. They obviously wore patches on their helmets. MP. And obviously you've been around teams that have suffered some sort of tragedy within the family. It can go either way. It can deflate or it can inspire. I'm going to guess that it was inspiring because I liked the way they came out of the chute yesterday. It looked like everything was falling together for them to have a big Thanksgiving Day feast on national TV with much of America looking in. It's probably the second most sort of watched game this side of the Super Bowl. Am I right about that? And that's because people are in and out. It's a lot of relatives, a lot of aunts and uncles. I hope people weren't too close together yesterday, but you know they were.
Right.
A lot of family gatherings, and people are talking, and maybe